Hey guys, welcome back to a video. In this one, we're gonna be learning about how do you read and write a file. So before going into the video, I would appreciate you guys liking and subscribing the video and feel free to comment. So let's go into the topic. So first, we have to learn about the two basic things we're gonna use a lot. So they're to open and close a file. And now what I'm gonna say is not the efficient way, but we're gonna be learning about that in a second too. So to open a file, you have to use open of, which is basically the brackets or the parentheses, and followed by the file name in a string, comma, the mode if required. So for us, we're gonna use mode right now, but we're gonna use later in this video. So that's how opening a file is, and of course you have to store this in a variable, and then we have to close a file, right? So to close a file, you have to use object.close. So object is nothing but the variable which you store this open thing, and that's how you use or close the file. And now let's see an example using those. So first we have to have a variable. I'm gonna take a and then open. I'm gonna open a text file which I already have in this. So let me show you guys. And now this is a text file which I have. So this is a text file, and we're probably gonna use that more in a second. And that's how you open a file. So I just opened a file, and as I said, you also have to have the modes, but for now we don't have to, but that's optional. But if you want to do specific things to the file or change or something, you have to use the modes. So we're gonna see that in a second. And now after you open it, you have to close it. So that's how you close a file. And if I run this, it's not gonna print us anything, which means it didn't give us an error because we did the code correctly. So it opened and closed the file. And now let's see how do you know if the file is closed or not. So first, let me delete that part. So basically, I'm gonna print a dot close without the parentheses. So that's how this thing works. So it's gonna return true if it's closed, and it's gonna return false if it's not closed. So if I run this, it's gonna print us false. Why? Because we never closed our file, right? So if I close it right there, it should have print us true. So if I run this, it should print us true. As you see, true. So that's how this closing and opening a file works. And as I said, this is not the efficient way to do it. There's more efficient way because you have to use the close, open, and everything. But instead, you could just do this in one line. So for that, you have to use something like this. So with open, and then you're gonna open the file you want, which is mine is a text file. I'm gonna open the text file real quick, and then that's how you open a file. And as I said, you have to store in a variable which is as and the variable name. So I'm gonna give a, and that's how you do it. And also you have to give the semicolon because that's how this thing works. And now that's how this thing will work. As I said, open, and then you open the text file, and then as a. So you can give this any name you want, and also you can add modes just like this. Inside this you can add, and these are all the modes. So now we're gonna be learning about those modes. So let's go in this. So these are all the modes we have. There are many modes like W, R, A, W plus, RB, RB plus, and everything as I showed you guys right here. So as I said, these are the all modes we can use, and that's how these modes exist. So we're going to be focusing on the three main modes that exist in Python, and we're going to use them a lot. So these are the three modes that exist. W for overwriting the data, which means it's gonna overwrite everything inside the text. So that's why we have our text file right here so that we can perform operations on it. So that's what that file is used for. And now we have an R mode, which is basically to read data, and this is by default by Python. And you don't have to do anything, you just have to just type this in a string, and append, which is a, just a, so lowercase, and append data at the end. It's not gonna append at the front or something, it's gonna append at the end. And these both are this W and A is also used for many purposes, so I'm gonna explain on them my future videos, so you can go check them out. And now let's see an example using them. So we're gonna use this short easy method. So I have my with open text, and here I have to enter the mode. So first we're gonna be focusing on the basic mode that most of the people use, and this is the R mode, and people don't use it that much, but it's because it's already default and we use them kind of a lot. So now let's see an example. Now how do you like read the data? So that's what our mode is used for. It's gonna read the data. As I said, it's gonna read the data, and that's by default. So now let's see an example. So first, a dot read, and this is basically what it's gonna do. It's gonna read the data, but we never are printing it, right? So instead I can just use the print statement, and now if I run this, it's gonna print the data in it. As you see, I'm a text file and by. So that's what we have inside there, right? So as you see, I'm a text file by. So that's how that works. Now we can, as I said, there is a W mode which is gonna overwrite everything. So for that I have to write. As you see, I written write, and now I have to have some text. So let me just say hello. That's what I have inside this. And now instead of saying I'm the I text file and everything, it's gonna print us 5 because we are not. This is just printing the letters in it or the characters. As you see, 5 characters are there. But let's say we want to print the hello word, the hello this thing. So for that, you have to have another with open one. So you have to open another time, and have your text file. So this time I'm gonna have text.txt, and you can have the R, or you don't even have to, because as I said, that is default. And then we can have in another variable or in the same variable, anything works. I'm gonna use F for now, and now we have to read the data. So that's how this thing works. I know overwriting is kind of large, but we're gonna learn that easily if we practice. So now if I run this, it have to print us 5 and hello, because we are printing over here. And also I'll show you one thing. As you see, this thing fully changed. We had the text I am text file and by, but now it's just hello. Why? Because we are overwriting, which means it's gonna even apply to the real data. So that's how this file handling works. And now let's see the last one called A. So for A, you also have to have something like read kind of thing. So I'm not gonna do anything for that. And then we also have to do something like this. So basically, if we just take a guess, it's gonna append this text at the last. But why do I have right here? It should not work, right? I should have append or something kind of like that. But no, append should have right method, and that's gonna basically append this to the end. So it basically depends on what mode you use. So that's how Python checks. And now for read, it's kind of different. So A and R are kind of similar. As you see, hello and hello, because I already had hello there. So let me like rename this to rename date or something. So let me just type hello world. So that's what I have in this, and then it's gonna print us hello world hello. As you see, hello world hello. So that's how this thing works. And that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.